I'm Abigail Jarboe, 416 Maple Street, Lebanon. I babysat for approximately 2.5 years for a child between the ages of 2.5 and 5. And I know her family well. In the meantime, her mother had twins. And the twins had a difficult birth, and they had health problems. On January 12th, one of the twins died. And the Children and Youth Services, in my opinion, are falsely blaming the parents. And I am extremely concerned about what is going on. And I want to bring to your attention, you had said you would be contacting a lawyer in regard to the complaint that I made previously. Did you get to talk to him, whoever was going to do it, and did he respond?
Yes, the county solicitor.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh. What did he say?
I'm not sure that's part of something I would share here. I mean, it's we just simply consulted with him on the nature of the case, and so
I see.
Came via email, but I don't know. I'm not certain. Without him here, I'm not certain we.
Okay.
Can
Well, I would like a copy of whatever he said. Please, I am requesting. So please look into that. I would like a copy of what he said. You were going to look into his feeling as to whether or not I had been unconstitutionally treated. And I doubt he would say he thought so in light of the fact that the judges rule the lawyers, but I'd be interested to know what he had to say. The paperwork that I passed out to the media and the county commissioners has notes that I took from this book, SIDS, A Parent's Guide to Understanding and Preventing Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. This baby died at about 4.5 months. He fits the SIDS, in my opinion, very, very well. I feel it's totally unjust that the parents are being blamed. As a matter of fact, now Children and Youth Services are saying that they want to terminate the parents' rights. They took the children, all the children, and there were a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and the twin brother that were all still alive. They left those children in that home for 2 weeks until the funeral, and then all of a sudden they claim it's an emergency that they got to get all the children out. Now the 10-year-old and the 12-year-old lived for 12-year-old and 6-year-old lived for that number of years. They didn't die. There has been, to the best of my knowledge, never been a founded report of child abuse before now. And now they're claiming that it's the parents' fault because the baby was left sleeping for a period of time. At least the parents thought he was sleeping. Now, I view this as harassment and wrong, and I'm extremely, extremely concerned that the agency terminated or had terminated without a hearing my power of attorney that the father had given me. On the first page after the notes that I took, you will see that their Children and Youth Services filed a motion to enjoin the use of the power of attorney that I had in the dependency proceeding and or a request for a protective order. Now, you had said you spoke with the and what did he say?
He said that they had never had someone come to them with a power of attorney before. They wanted to make sure they didn't mess up. So they asked their solicitor to review the request. And so the solicitor, in her due diligence, did some research into cases. And she found where the cases said the powers of attorney didn't apply in this situation, if I recall correctly. And so then to make sure that they weren't interpreting it wrong, they showed it to the judge, and then that's when the judge wrote the order. That's my understanding of it. If I have something wrong, I apologize, but that is my understanding of what I was told.
Well, you will see from the second page of the paperwork I gave you that what they filed was a motion to enjoin the use of power of attorney in dependency proceeding and or request for protective order. There is no request for clarification as to whether or not it should be used. As a matter of fact, if you go on and look at the paperwork, first of all, next comes the power of attorney.
Mrs. Jarboe, I think we did this this is the same document that you gave us the last time.
No, it isn't.
I'm sorry, I thought you were referring to what you gave us the last time.
Some of it is, not all of it.
Okay.
I didn't give you a copy of the power of attorney before, to the best of my knowledge. But if you would look at the pages, the agency passes out papers or sends or gives papers to the parents saying they are entitled to be represented by anybody they want. It doesn't have to be an attorney before a tribunal. If you see where it says Exhibit 2.
I saw that.
Okay. And yet they were not willing to let me represent the father when he wanted me to. And in regard to what the attorney said, what she put in her paperwork is not that at all. What she said was there wasn't any clear definition of unauthorized practice of the law. And she claimed that they thought that's what I was doing. But I had no opportunity to present the evidence, and I asked twice now for a hearing where evidence could be presented, and twice the judge has refused me. If you look at Exhibit 1B, it says power to pursue claims in litigation. That's one of the powers of attorney. A power to pursue claims in litigation shall mean, and this is the law, shall mean that the agent may institute, prosecute, defend, abandon, arbitrate, compromise, settle, or otherwise dispose of and appear for the principal in any legal proceedings. Any legal proceedings would
Mrs. Jarboe, we don't have a bit of power to offer you any help in addressing these issues. An attorney representing you, if you would get someone, or this is not the place, though, for us that we can be of any help to you. And I'm trying to be respectful of what you're presenting, but we've had this, most of it before, and we don't have a plan. I know the media is here, and then maybe that's part of why you're trying to air this out here, but we don't have a solution for you at this level. And life would be simpler if we could just take care of whatever issues were up at the courts, but we don't have that power, obviously. And
you
so,
do,
yeah.
excuse me, you do have some power. You fund these people. And not only that, but you have power over children and youth services. Children and youth services had no right to do this. There was no evidence presented that I had done anything amiss. There's nothing in the law that says a judge can take away part of a power of attorney just because he feels like
But
it.
the judge did it, not.
Yes, he did it.
Yes.
And he should be voted out of office.
Well,
And I would like to urge
and that's
that
a
happen.
matter that is not, again, within our purview, so. Yeah, Commissioner.
Had you considered filing an appeal in the Court of Common Pleas?
You see, he says I don't have standing because I'm not party. He claims I'm not a party. In essence, that's what it amounts to, because that's what they were claiming, that I'm not a party. I believe I am, but I do not believe that they would do any good, actually. I think that the solution is to get rid of this judge, vote him out of office, impeach him or something. Because if you look at the last page, I asked him to reconsider, and I asked for an evidentiary hearing, and he said no. Something's wrong in Lebanon County. How many parents are being harassed by the agency? The agency, Children and Youth Services, filed a paper, which I have at home, a copy of. And it stated in there that Rick Showers verified that it was true. And it kept saying, we don't have enough knowledge to know if it's in the best interest of Mrs. Jarboe to meet with the child. Well, then why, if they don't have any interest? They are doing things because they want to, not because they ought to, and it's wrong. And how many parents are being harassed? How many parents are being falsely charged? This is wrong, and something ought to be done about it. Can you investigate Children and Youth Services? You can, if you want to, right?
Well, they're heavily monitored by the state and also by our folks here, but I was just going to say, if you would get an attorney, a third party, to look at your paperwork and give you an opinion whether you have an opportunity to go further with this in any direction, that would be your best course, I would think. And you know, we go back a long time. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying that I'm not sure we have a remedy for you here. That an attorney or someone that you have confidence in to tell you, here's what this looks like. You're in either at a dead end, or here's a pathway to an answer. You know.
I think you're probably aware, I've represented myself on numerous occasions.
Yes.
I have sued very many people.
Yes.
I don't feel I need an attorney. What I need is somebody that will obey the law. And if you got a judge that will not obey the law, and he can get away with it, and they can just say, I'm not a party because I'm not a parent, and he's thrown me out of the case. In the meantime, the father's tried to contact his attorney, and his attorney's not responding. And I could be doing things for these people if the judge was not disregarding the law. So, and also if Children and Youth Services were not disregarding the law and trying to blame these parents for something that was obviously, in my opinion, an accident. I have known them for a period of time. I know the children. The little girl is heartbroken, apparently. They won't let me visit, but I'm told that every time she has to leave a visit, she's crying. And I certainly believe it, because she's very attached to her parents. One time I picked up her from the bus where her mom was going to work, and she hid under the bench and said, I'm not coming out from under this bench until my mom comes back. And she also wants to be with her father. She had said on occasion, if my dad and I move into your house, and she was talking like that. She is attached, and there was no reason to take away this little girl. She wasn't killed. She wasn't in any danger. There's never been a child abuse report, as far as I know, regarding this child. This is harassment, in my opinion, on the part of Children and Youth Services. And I do believe that the Children and Youth Services people lied when they verified that they don't know. They after a reasonable investigation, they didn't know if the parents wanted me there. Well, the parents come in on a regular basis to visit the children. Why didn't they ask them? That's no reasonable investigation, and it goes like that all the way through. Thank you very much.
Thank you.